So now let's in the last video we discussed about how to create a simple report using our report studio. So now we will add few things. So as you see here, you can sort the data. So for example, if you choose this column and then your different items will be highlighted here. So this is called sorting. So here you can do sort descending. So then once you do that, you'll have a little icon here which shows down arrow. So if you choose so this is descending. If you choose ascending, then you'll get an up arrow. So now if you run the report, you will see its sales amount was sorted ascending order. Then you can add something called an aggregation. So here you can define a field. So let's choose let's give it a name of a report. Test report. And you can so here you'd see there are different icons. So the other thing is you can see here there are a few tabs. So let me introduce you this. So one is the page explorer. What that means is this is like a page design. So page design meaning if you click on here, what you see here is the page designs. So let's click here. So you will see this is called our page design, which is this one. Now in some report you can have a prompt. So you can create a prompt pages and we'll cover that. So if you click on here, you'll see a way you can define prompts. So again, let's get there. And then this is our query. So query behind the report. So here these are the columns available. Now sometimes you may have a column name which is not visible in the report. So you can have something called some sort of a hidden parameter which you see in the websites, where you can have a hidden value in a web form, but it may not show. So something like that. So for example, in this particular report, we don't have that. And then this one is again query. Sorry. So let's get back to the page design, which is our main focus. So let's try to add a total. So let's see if we can add so here we have added a total. And then let's try to add a prompt pages. Okay, before we do that, let's add some design elements. So here you see there are three icons. One is the source, which basically show all the items from your model. Then there is query. So this shows all the items from your on the query. Now here, if you have a item which doesn't show in the report, you can still see it. And then there is something called insertable objects. Means if you want to add some more stuff. So for example, let's say we want to create a space underneath the or maybe on the okay, maybe underneath the report. Okay, so here you have a space. Then let's say if you want to create a text box, so you can create a text box. So here you can say my report. So you added a report. Then you can create for example query calculations. So let's say you want to create another field with a name of an agent and a region name, just for the sake of experimentation. So you can create this is called calculated member. So you can drag this one and you can create a calculated member. Okay, we have to drag it a little differently. Okay, so let's do it maybe in here. Okay, so sorry, I think we cannot add it this here. This is in a list report. But anyway, let's run this report and we'll see how it goes. So let's run the report. So here we have our test report, and as you see the footer, and we have added a total. So let's go back again. Okay, so let's try to play with some more elements. So now we will show you how to create a query calculation. So for example, let's say if you have a field here, sales amount, and you want to calculate the commission amount for the sales agent based on the sales amount, and let's say 15% is the commission. So this is in that particular case you will use something called a query calculations. So here you add a column and then you call it sales commission, and then you say okay, and then so as you see here a few options. So always choose the query. So this gives you again entire model. This shows query, which shows you the query field, and then you want to select on the sales amount. So the fact that if you see sales amount has an aggregation because it is the aggregated column. So you do double click that. When you double click, you get it here, and then you say 0.15. Now here, if you click on there, Cognos has different functions available. So you can use depending on your needs. So let's, for example, here you have plus. So let's say we want to use the plus function. So you get a plus here. So when you double click here, you get a plus there. Let's say we want to add a plus, maybe $10 the commission, and then after that you want to validate your expression. So it says no errors. So then you hit OK. So here you have your sales commission. Then let's say if you want to add a if you want to add a chart, then you can also add a chart. So let's say we want to add a chart here, and then you have to drag it to I think so you may want to just take a simple chart with this one and then do OK. And you have to, now when you create a chart, you have to associate also a query item with it. So that's the first thing of creating a chart. So for example, when you create a chart, if you go to the query, you'll see query 1, query 2. So by default, Cognos creates another query and a blank query when you drop a chart in your page, this thing. But we don't want to create a new query for the chart. We want to associate the chart with the already existing query. So for that, you click on the chart, so you get this chart properties here, and then you associate the query to query 1. So once you do that, then you can save it, and you can call this as you see, this is a test one is our package, and you can set sales report 1. So you save it, and now once you save it, then I recommend so now we have got a blank chart. Now we have to define the you have to drag and drop the fields. So for example, again click on the query item, and then for let's say for sales amount should be here, default measure on the y-axis, and maybe the name of the, or maybe you can do the region name, which is the name 1. You can drag on x-axis. Okay, so this is our, and then let's run the report. So as you see our report here, we have a commission which is 15% of the sales amount, and then we have a nice chart here where we have northeast and southeast. Okay, so in this video we learned how to create a simple report and how to add charts and how to add different calculated fields in the report. In the next video we'll take some more advanced topics.